This group of people, what's it? Ochia. Ukokwanyi do ochia. Oba unye say una pe John Mahama na se. Na we John Mahama nam Togo, Benin, India. Hey, fine. And I was ready. You say me John Mahama Lincoln free. Oh, yeah. And I mean succeeding tea. Timu ding makukumba.
Yeah, but for it.
So they went and got a certain guy called Jifagunu. So he decided on the father non kabum and not Troy for Kratas. Long article. Kokwanyi do murder's daughter, till daughter, this. The Yenasi Kramanko. I was so wicked, I'm so callous, I didn't even go for the burial, blah blah. Oh, all kinds of things. At this point, I said, no, enough is enough. As we speak, the matter is in the Tema High Court. Yes. It's pending in the Tema High Court. And guess, Hina Noye Jifagununi lawyer. Eduji Tamakolo. The boy now, Muhammad Nani, credit to Edison Supai. So, no, director of Liga. Eduji Tamakolo. Ono na Jifagununi lawyer. And in Jifagunu's write-up, no. So, see John Mahama na me person ku John Mahama. So, it means that John Mahama is the one they are fighting for. It's John Mahama's bidding that they are doing. And John Mahama sits around it. They are no feeder. And let's say KUFFOUR John Mahama, they are no feeder. He will pretend he hasn't heard. How can you be a leader? How can we trust you with leadership? When you pretend that you don't know about these things happening around you. Over 8,000 or 8 million, something. He said 800,000 people living with disability. If they should all decide to vote against you, John Mahama, where will you be? And funnily enough, interesting enough, it was President KUFFOUR who introduced the Disability Act in 2006. You see how God is? Who John Mahama? Come on, Sasso. Sending Kitiajina on chain. Watching the baseball cap. What? Yo. Haneni said, concede defeat. But the factors that led you to concede defeat. Today, the same boys, 3 weeks to election. And then I saw for no binuma hore on Sato Bahamas. I feel they will issue.
Oh, Samu.
Ma, me, I've seen it. I've seen it on social media. What's it? Abba. Adena Moyesa. Dela dem. Dela. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. They got to about 3 weeks. Now, Chimiasaka.
Just a Abankwana who Abankwan see the suggestion. Near Dano.
Adena Muhammad. Adena Muhammad.
Yeah, de la EDEM. Akasa etia omampeni dadao kofidi ewu fuo na aye nchini wa shiu bebre ofa benkum ofa nifa ofa nafu ofa tifi ni atoi eno na kwakwaye nsama eda manfo ano ne worokoro na woreka na okuti menime de na ibebisawo when the politics no mado esukowum se bibisa aba na abofra bi kasa tio panyin bi wa mmiri bi mu a etimi di nsunsanso boni bi ebe oni para brabo ma na se ku odom no ana eno na no pay ana samri yeni akoko anyidoho ebetwetwe nkomo enti ne dika wo baso a na wa subscribe to KUKO Media TV sene makano na jumede rekoso no na o share na wa like se oyaw ene enimtiabu ene ekutiabo ne eno na ba besue yem politics na ko yimbeka se wantete obayinti ena kokasati a obi baby no kokase mbia obisa hinaba papa semesiba o sene ne wanyantete we denti ne wanyantete o Papa nimpo di Sunday ono yawa na oya amanfo kurum ha. Sɛ ne ba yɛ obi a news. Kwaku enquire.
Well, yeah, Yenchia, the TFO, Arefo. Today, Wednesday, 21st November 2024. Of course, I mean, the whole idea is a man with Baha. Come idea if candidates now. And then you may be Titiwa as a Ghana for some behe.
So much more to about.
So, the buying character is one of the main reasons why Ghanaians are going to vote in 2.5 weeks' time. So, straight to the point, in year summary, you see President KUFFOUR, born in say, as the patriarch of the new patriotic party, the patriarch, living patriarch, say MPP ne Yereka MPP one sema one faribai one penny our tiase President KUFFOUR from 92 Eduboy started. It was President KUFFOUR who won the presidency for them in 2000 and did 8 years. So he's a living icon for the new patriotic party political tradition. Yes, or a statesman. But he's a politician. He lived all his life as adult life as a politician. Lived born in his say, Osi baby, I didn't do no. Ota Dr. Baomiachi. Yes, what he gave reasons how I feel say Baumia is fit to be president after Nana Akufo-Addo. And I don't blame President KUFFOUR. He's a politician. Yeah, he's a politician, and not some of him. So he's hearing things. Some of the things that are going on in the ground. Here, poor people yet. Say Alan Chremantin, Menkrofu, headed Namtitru Ashanti region. Say President KUFFOUR Tanwechi. Yeah. It is politics. And John Mahama Gaza Nekai saying Trokakra and Krekakra.
Now they are frafra.
Now they are frafra. So there are people using President KUFFOUR's name, especially in the Ashanti region, that KUFFOUR is supporting Alan Chremantin. And that he doesn't want Baumia to win. You think that President KUFFOUR hasn't got intelligence?
Oh, not so different.
A former president for 8 years. Asante Memusun of Ufuri. Oh, Osai Edition. That is what I have heard. So if some, and when I saw Alan Chremantin's video clip yesterday, and the President KUFFOUR, giddy. Say President KUFFOUR penny onya ni oye. What can you for no person to efutobe?
Ose enumpo na wire mama for no ya no.
Good. So it means that he's endorsing the insult. Alan Chremantin who refused nanu year President KUFFOUR was endorsing him. And then they know
papa.
Is it? Koto de budget. It's your young one, it's your young.
Na ni political career mpono. Me fan say President KUFFOUR and a thrown into the political mirror.
That is the more reason why it was easy for the group to be doing damage on the ground in Ashanti region. That KUFFOUR is supporting Alan Chremantin. He was feeding into it. Alan, apart from Kumasi, our bank crime 2 days, 3 days, no Kumasi. He felt being important at Oye Kapio. So the agenda is to be in Kumasi and destroy the votes in Kumasi. And one of the weapons of mass destruction, and in Krofo, or usual ground is President KUFFOUR Tanwechi. Intina, apart from UPSA, Obabon think Kakra, Ebetina, Nipom, yes, or supported by Ubiano. political propaganda. And there's a section of the MPP that was believing that propaganda from the Butterfly family. President Kufuor said, hey, I'm going to Ashanti region. The late Achimping Oyele Kashi Ashanti Mayina Bodom. But of course, before that, the statesman, the politician that he is, he engaged the media and not say, I support Bawumia. And they said the P won't tickle up.
I say, Oshe, Mera you won't media. Okeri, on a president, you know. Na Bawumia na. Or when you said him, a bit in your way.
Look, let me tell you a certain story. And I know it for a fact. Because maybe I'm a very interview for President Mills' new biography. Okay. So I had to go and interview President Kufuor, former President Kufuor. Yeah. For there are pictures of, there's a picture of me. Maybe I could even give it to you to put on the screen anyway, but that's neither here nor there. But I had to go and interview him as a former president, a senior statesman. What he knows about President Mills, because you want to interview all kinds of people. Oh yeah. Oh, that time not Spanner Junction.
Okay.
Yeah. But apart from that, Marco Hosope. And he allowed me in to discuss national issues. This is only president.
Yo.
Into
a statesman.
A statesman. Into Uyanipa.
Yo.
Exactly. But what made me get attached to President Kufuor recently? Attached. About 2.5 months ago, Minya Kabila, James Kwamina born Virginia, Nikobi Awati, Rights for Youth with Disability, and our partner Kufuor Foundation to have an event at AMA next to Movenpick.
Okay.
Or conference center bio. And oh yeah, and at Amos Institute as a policy think tank. Kabila Tunes are friend. So I went.
See you.
So I went. That was the first time I met President Kufuor at close range, sitting in his wheelchair.
Okay.
It was after that I now visited Pedro, so put it in perspective. So about 3 months ago, I met him for the first time. And it touched me. Seeing him in a wheelchair. Disability for one program. And it was, like I said, a collaboration between the Kufuor Foundation and Bonfeni Rights for Youth with Disabilities. Apparently, Bonfeni PhD had to do with breaking the myth surrounding disability in Ghana. So that's what he got his PhD in at Cape Coast University. Now, President Kufuor spoke, and I was touched by his words. I say, 10 years ago, if anybody had prophesied that I will be in a wheelchair,
so we share and come say,
me President Kufuor, and I said, J. Kufuor, and ene, me deni bubu for me take, akonye I the tie shares here, and Kamaka says, the pano here commission bonnie. On permanent nourishes are common. But ene mini don't let you come Kufuor. So menya mema kentinka
MPM
bese insia and susuminu.
No, also attention gram no you do papa.
Oh, gentle giant. Into me come akuma. Then Wache Jakun was also at the program. The drew list was over Kasano, no, they were the far Bible. No, the theology Bible. No, see, it's free da. Yankupon, Pam Adam, na Eve, or ye one bonina, P wants,
no Pam won't fit through him.
Pam won't free Garden of Eden. Humanity has been disabled. Like what? He theologized around disability. And so, sin, bonnie, It's all part of our human disabilities. Because we're not clean any longer. Yehun crudging. Good. But you say, after the Oba, Befefun, Obebrewetching.
I was not calling.
Sana wow. Bema Obetim free. You. Or Obe Kaunaichi. Or the Sosobe Boffin. That was the beginning of the disability of humanity. So theologically speaking, that is why we have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And the disability just manifests itself in different ways. I had to go to somewhere for a little bit of therapy on my shoulder. That's a form of disability. Because people are going and by a grousing tipa. So thank you. So back to the substance of the issue. So the former president, belonging to a political tradition, endorses the presidential candidate of his political party. When did you object him? One can say when also me deno and the yamami. Saying to yamami no. And he said, say. And President KUFFOUR, like I'm saying, when I went to interview, he told me a story. What's it about me? Tamano President KUFFOUR president. And Polakwa, the governor of the Central Bank of Ghana. He a deputy governor. And no of KUFFOUR. Now the choice here, Alasan and Dani. That I'm not all backlist. And President KUFFOUR, it choose Alasan and Dani. 2-3 days later, and I will appoint Alasan and Dani as MD of Stanbic Bank. So he had now left backlist to Stanbic Bank. And of course, I spent about 10 years in the banking industry. So those days, Metropolitan and Allied Bank, the Bename one. Not Stanbic, you know, we now the same building, Vaco Trust House.
Wow.
They were Raja. Yeah, I was 10 years in the bank.
That's why I do my bank, Baba.
Oh, yes.
So when now you know, in Katsina, bank at Maya.
Oh, you can say, I'm not okay, alcohol. Now, my uncle Paris. Anyway, so when Polakwa came in and said, Alasan and Dani has gotten an appointment as MD of Stanbic. And then Polakwa, Kai, President KUFFOUR said, but there's that young man. Aumia, you remember we met him at a function in London?
Not in 2003.
Good. And his presentation, you know, how lucid, erudite, was eloquent, you know. He was, yeah, oh, that young man. I don't have a problem. You can give it to him. That is how KUFFOUR started engaging Dr. Baumia. And he said, Baumia kase President KUFFOUR ni dua biabano. And ananado abegusu nsua. So President KUFFOUR is not pretending. He's not pretending. So he goes to endorse Baumia. And then NDC Meblu say, well, we can't NDC Meblu. John Mahama Nkola. Because it's not about NDC. No, I have NDC. So that is not our culture. These are boys associated with John Mahama. It's as simple as that. Now, we are insulting President KUFFOUR. And Nyankopon ne chiamika. Intina. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I mean, when I heard it, they lied them. VGG. You see, but there's a trend that has been established by John Mahama. I mean, there's a trend that has been established by John Mahama and around John Mahama. And they say, me. And then 20th November, yes, 20th. Good. 3 days ago, 17th November. Exactly 4 years. I'm seeing me Baba. 8.5-year-old girl. Sichupe Ablavi for Mau Anido. Yes, adopted child, my own daughter.
Thank
you. She passed on the 7th of November 2020. And I buried her on the 17th. So just 3 days ago, I was in Tanyibe, my village. When I was here, what are your doji? I'm with the insurance. Now, the mama and the boys, this group of people, what's it? Ochia. KUKO AYINDOHO Ochia. Ubai. Unyanwi. What's that one? I won't pay John Mahama Nasa. And I'll read John Mahama Nam, Togo, Benin, India. Hey, fine. And I'll be ready. John Mahama, Lincoln Fio. Oh, yeah. And I mean succeeding tea. Ding na kukumba.
Yeah, but for it.
Not for it. Well, me kumiba at the limboja. Akoye different level of okay. Different level of nakukumba. Say me your mama and feel. Oh yes. They were saying these same boys on radio. What can these same platforms? Or can you have to do baby? A guy called Jifagu. It's a mebe Mahamari. Me a woman like me a vote authority. Me a jimu like what boge. When me a papato. The flachi. Agbani. Ake de vioma koma hijeme. So na joko pape vio ku utona. De do hafu me figba. Me ba dokpe mi adopio. Ya vioma goma semuri. Wa wo lorema. Eyime. Yes. That's what look. If you don't understand, you don't understand. There's a conscious effort. Especially after the death of Rawlings. Some people say the Rawlings era is over. So Volta region, they want to dismember Volta region. Oh yeah, that they want to take the NDC away from us and make Volta hewers of wood and what do you call it? Drawers of water and hewers of food. Hold on. So they went and got a certain guy called Jifagunu. So he decided on the and not Troy for Kratas. Long article. KUKO AYINDOHO murder's daughter, killed daughter, this. And you know, say, I'm so wicked, I'm so callous, I didn't even go for the burial. Blah, blah. Oh, all kinds of things. At this point, I said, no, enough is enough. As we speak, the matter is in the Tema High Court. Yes. It's pending in the Tema High Court. And guess, Hina Noye, Jifagununi lawyer. Eduji Tamakulo. The boy now, Muhammad Nani, credit to Edison Supai. Say, on the director of legal. Eduji Tamakulo. On the Jifagununi lawyer. And in Jifagunu's write up, no. So, John Mahama, me person John Mahama. So, it means that John Mahama is the one they are fighting for. It's John Mahama's bidding that they are doing. John Mahama sits around it. Bien a no feeder. And he said, John Mahama, oh, bien a no feeder. He will pretend he hasn't heard. How can you be a leader? How can we trust you with leadership? When you pretend that you don't know about these things happening around you. What's the penny? Utifie na mufrano every nanka.
What can nanka refer?
Una ye chief nanka refer. And you be na John Mahama, they be good ye NDC, you know. And so these boys draw their energy, their strength, their passion from John Mahama's tacit approval of the things that they do. But men can't go into say na mi wukruma na John Mahama nankasa. Osati didi among for them. Or ye are suffer. Ye are imams. Imam ye are ainfu. Ye are traditional leaders. So ye nyach. Didi want them. Say Argentina. Baumiaba. Ultimate CNSM. Tete. Our bompai man. One shen komo. Or bompai. We didn't want them here. After we did the do so de. We did not an income share. Or income share part 1. Income share part 1 and 2. Or part 1 one crime. And another income share part 2. Ewa kumasi. Oh, part 1 and 2. I said diabolo na.
Chewa. And the flow.
Income share part 1. Or in crime. 1st October. In the na okay commission part 2 e Kumasi nani kama na ba unya Kumasi Ashanti region really Juma night and day 47 constituencies entering every constituency what they call here commission or UST lecture theater we na free Ashanti region in commission and I would be winning election and he said President Kufuor in his state he says look I will go to my people and go and speak to my people. Now you are angry and these boys are insulting them. They lie them and not starting. And Abu Farabi so a friend of Samuel Muto. La. But you see, your mama say you have a short memory. But your mama nangaza. First of all, so we are food. Bianca that you are a dead goat. And you say short memory. The things that you say, John. And it's ended in 2016. Some of Arabia led by Mugabe Mase. Ewo Munti. Loko Didi Ajaji Fuatem. Kan semen semfata. Se monato bibenu. Then I was saying, baby I didn't know. Yeah, my mining kosa. And tenancy film and was one could be 4 months or Abai KUKO. Of course, I was deputy general secretary to the NDC at so because of Mugabe needing KUFFOUR for the first time KUKO AYINDOHO I entered Sawom maximum
medium prison.
Yeah, maximum
Medium.
It's only medium. Maximum one KUFFOUR. Okay. Yeah, medium. Sawom medium security prison for the first time. And I entered. How for me? I want to call you. Master, sometimes young phobia is say young woman. Oh, 1 year.
Ampa, you can't see that Mudia.
Boys be a Mugu. You area. Ugo.
Only me say the Oka Bridge.
Thank you. Oh, but I'm at the Bobby and but on the more serious note. So I entered that place for the first time to solidarize with these boys. Eventually, John Mahama granted them amnesty, presidential pardon. He has the prerogative of mercy. But when you're exercising your prerogative of mercy and you exercise it capriciously, you pay a high price for it. So our boys here will release your money. 2016 KUGO, 1 million votes. Account. People were very angry. People were very, very angry. And no, you don't do that. You don't do that. And I know people. And now at that time, at security level. What's your tone for, sir? Master, don't do already. Any boys. Minty. And we did the attempt. Who release you? Or the Omumbra Mubek, also no did the attempt now, on second term now. But they 2 minutes on fire. But you see, history has a very interesting way of repeating itself. Mugabe Masi, history has an interesting way of repeating itself. Mugabe Masi. The program so, they let them could start this idea with Didi President Kufuor.
Two parties in you see 2016. No.
Well, say Asem Ba Frank Insisu. So, John Mahama, former president, when you allow yourself, they say the audio actually be a
none of them wants to buy.
These same boys, John, if you're not careful, they will lead you. They will lead you to where they led you to in 2016. At least history has it that make KUKO AYINDOHO 2016. Me press conference, because John Mahama, you are in a comfortable league.
You, I want to hear, sir.
Of course, just get you
comfortable league.
And Sana, who John Mahama, come on, Sasso. Sending Kitiaji now, on chain, watching the baseball cap, what? Yo. You know, and the said, Hore, conceded defeat. But the factors that led you to concede defeat. Today, the same boys, 3 weeks to election. And then I saw for no binuma or on Saturday Bahamas. After the Wurisu.
Oh, Samun.
Ma, me, I've seen it. I've seen it on social media.
Sedenti.
What's it? Abba. Adena Moyesa. Dela dem. Dela. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. They got to about 3 weeks. Aka.
Najisa Abankwana Guru.
Hey.
Abankwan si the suggestion. Near Dano.
Adena Muhammad. Adena Muhammad. Namu didi. Kufona muko didi ate. Kufona muko didi ate. Yeah. Dela boy. Yes.
This is a bit effective review.
What are you talking about? Look, in the last, before this whole thing, it even said 2 weeks ago, the transfer 3-4 days continues. Let me share different MPP people. I won't both. Of course, and it's natural. They want to one party, but one both. Into one to a bar. It's natural, it's normal.
Also be a good.
Yesterday, I met 2 of them. Okay, we have changed our mind, we vote. And I'm saying, we are not voting for MPP. We are voting for KUFFOUR.
Sedenti.
Because, is this what your mama is bringing?
Oh,
when your mama deba? Say, Akufo Addo Baumia was super on Sano. What the KUFFOUR so? Sebe unauka tre Baumia se on your level. Mahama was KUFFOUR on your level. I'm telling you. So now they buy. Say Baumia on your level. Mahama was KUFFOUR on your level. Yes, it is true. Monkeys play by sizes. KUFFOUR is 85 years old. Mama, where they KUFFOUR started politics. Now, Mama won't. Yes. I'm telling you. Because if Mahama is even 65 and KUFFOUR is 85, that's 20 years difference.
And when he was 28 years, the foreign minister, right? Deputy foreign minister.
So, if it's a 20-year difference and he was 28, and that means, John, you're what? 5 years or 8 years? Yeah, so 8 years. We're still in Pampers, 8 years. Now, so now he did 8 years as president. You didn't do 8 years. You are struggling another 4 years. So KUFFOUR on your level. As we speak now, President Rawlings Oko. So in the Fourth Republic, KUFFOUR is the senior most statesman alive. Rawlings Tiasia and Rawlings was in because it is according to Atamos Odi KUFFOUR Oko. Rawlings Odi KUFFOUR Oko. So KUFFOUR is occupying a very unique position in Ghana now. That's why Miko Kwanyido forget about MDC MPP. If I think I must go to President KUFFOUR for the sake of downloading knowledge about this country, I will go. Because Sebe Minyobia mini President Rawlings Ayejuma, mini President Mills knows the BNI, but as no KUFFOUR experience. And I saw President Mills giving honor to President KUFFOUR, a bribe commission, sir, N1 highway. President Mills gave President KUFFOUR honor by inviting him to the commissioning ceremony. Name how they say. So to Mama, KUFFOUR on your level, President KUFFOUR on your level. In your level. Now KUFFOUR level as a buy. No! Crowd! KUFFOUR on your how no. We're not like a gomo. Leadership review KUFFOUR June. The net effect of the colossal damage that John Mahama is causing himself, he has no idea. Say, I say, one man, one journey free, Kumasi no come or yeah, and come share part 2. I will journey free Kumasi. And you say, oh man, here now, a quite some great campaign war. Who be man to be no banner with me. Let's get serious in this country.
But you choose June and I'm at the bell.
And I'm Malam Oma Hamu. That the first of all, I'm surprised. No, first of all, there must be another name attached to his name because Kenya the Lion. There's no name like that in Africa Mochu. The Lion. Yeah. Exactly. Good. Yeah. So he has hidden his surname. And not the Lion. The politics of yeah. He must have a surname. And you know who? Very man, you are my talk. Good. Baba Mabiasa. Uba Chega. Uba Kudolu. Uba Kubem. Uba Haligan. Uncola Kenya de la Edeba. And he's supposed to be a teacher, a trained teacher. Yes, my cousin occurred some time ago. Oh, yeah. Junamako. Eto Konyama Didi. Junama. The Gimajum Petepo. This same Mugabe. And I'm saying that Mugabe, Koko Ayindoho, you Mugabe, and now be creative platform. Saying the name matter. Mugabe. Whoa. There was a book I read years ago when I was doing O-level literature. Great Expectation. Yeah. One of the texts, the standard text at the time. There was a phrase in it. Never be ungrateful to the hand that once fed you.
Okay.
Yeah. Ashia do ashia do ashide gbogbo alo ame do ashide gbogbo. And now no do re. Mo tona me gbedoni. Dia wa bo ope.
Insa and
I'm saying that Mugabe should come and tell me whether I didn't come to. So not once, not twice. Maybe in our own prisons. As for the other matters, at the Lama Goneka town, the Madaso. But for the first time in Casa, I was at our medium security, not once, not twice. Because of who I was at the time, graciously so. The call commander in the office. So Mugabe and Co were invited to the commander's office.
Because of you.
Because of me. Because of me. So when you come out today, Mugabe said John Mahama, they put you up and it is me KUKO Ayindoho that you insult. Bakwe Kwabna Bubi answer. Also another issue. It was me caught with him the same time I got.
Wow.
Oh yeah. You see? And these are boys that I once trained.
Okay.
This is not how I trained them. But today, what's it? Bahama. And the only way to get into Bahama's heart is to insult KUKO Ayindoho. The best place I can go is to court. Because I need to clear my name. You see, I'm a murderer. I have 4 other children. I don't clear my name. For them to have a clean surname. Because I'm coming on you. Yeah, don't jim them. So if I'm being accused of murdering my own daughter, I must go to court and get judgment.
Clear your name.
To clear my others. One day my children be the so I'm in court. Mahama has not bothered once. If you are a real father, oh, this matter can we take it out and settle out of court?
Okay.
Because he's not got the moral turpitude. He's not got the moral turpitude. And that is why John Mahama is lacking in leadership. The moral turpitude. To call people to order. No. And they use his name. And they do it in his name. In Sam George. They did it. So what them. Because, what's it? Baumia. Deacon. And I say, Pentecost. Sorry. So the church should begin to purge itself of charlatans. The apostle, one Pentecost is full of charlatans, according to Sam George. And he's doing it in the name of John Mahama. John Mahama is quiet. This kind of leadership. Now you insult President KUFFOUR, insult all Ghanaians not even Ghanaians, worldwide, living with disabilities, in wheelchairs. It is God. Meanwhile, in my Bible, what's a do, baby? It's your form of beside Jesus Christ. Say, Bubu for you, and I say, any friend here and any friend. Yankopon a channel.
Me papa be born here. Why?
It's in scripture. This person.
So say, "Beya, Yankopon you be dead."
It is so that God will be glorified.
God will kill for you.
And I said, no, it is not because of the sins of the fathers or for anything. It is so that God's name be glorified. It is other name can say me tina KUFFOUR. There was our program. Or kase. He has taken it good stride and is living with it. And then you delight them. Samuel Hunto, no person back, another one be all over the place. All in the name of John Dramani Hamama. The two be our painting. And so let's insult. So John Dramani Mama, you have your own cross to carry you. Me Koko Ayindoho. I say, Maka, what I saw June 4th, May 1579 with my eyes. Growing up in Bemakam, the papa name mami chreme, or the EP Church has taught me. The Jerry Rollins chreme, the Tamils chreme. Your Mahama, I will not allow you and your politics to destroy me and my destiny. So forget it. It's not mean no. My yet pain. And Nankasa will say, oh, he doesn't want me. I thank God. Look, so I trade for now. I call it 2018. I'm a corporate General Secretary. Ajamwa Mankasa ebe too chalk.
It's a sabotage of sabotage.
Look, obe too chalk will trade fair.
What's what chase ka wo ho?
Usabe kaze ni you. Look, and I've never spoken about that deal, but I saw a lot of things.
But you said you see the penny now.
Now, NBC Congress. Now, basically 3 days ago, you're voting here. Yes, a line in free and a four. Nanipa 20, 30, 40, 50, I vote to. But one ever year announcement said, hey, after you raise a line in free.
Me and I, Koku.
Koku, he will not become General Secretary.
The moon.
Mamma mia. But you see, when I look back, God, Joseph, not catch any man. So you people meant it for evil. But the God I said, he meant it for good. So that time now, Jacob, or the Israel, well, because said Joseph found about Muslim, and we don't go to Goshen, the choicest part of Egypt at the time. So,
Minister for Food and Agric, Papa,
so food, Prime Minister. So, we see Jacob here. After me, no more. Tell you, Papa, Abraham won't show you. Hey, man, people meant it for evil. But God turned it around for good. For me to be here this time, this season, to save you people. So don't worry, Papa is dead, but hey, Master, forget it.
Life must go on.
I say it, I tell my Joseph story. Can you imagine if I was General Secretary, the NDC, and all the things that John Mahama against my upbringing, against my conscience, against my spirit, against the God I worship, against my church doctrine, I'll have to stand up against him. When I stand up against him, then they will accuse me. Say, me na main person, party ni beba power. So one share, then they will destroy my political career. So God said, Koku, let them cheat and let them do everything. I'm setting you aside another time and another season. Not this time. He doesn't want you. It's not John who doesn't want you. It is I, Jehovah, who is setting you aside because this line is not part of your destiny. Your destiny was Atamios. And he brought John to be his running mate. No problem. But if Atamos is gone, your destiny is not John. Step aside. I'll put you on destiny's track. And I'm on destiny's track. So all the mess going on in the NDC today, one fine day, people will say, Abakoku's strength. And I said, I'll give thanks to God Almighty. John Mahama, oye.
Kwaku, 3 minutes.
Yes, oye.
Kwaku,
so today, men of God, heavy men of God, I mean, yesterday, was it? Professor Kwesi Yanka. Of course, I used to read him way back when he was writing Ghost of a Quadrant. Every Saturday, Nayeto, a mirror, Ghost of a Quadrant. Subsequently, it was PAV and Sir Papa. Papa was a real motivator. Anyway, when I read Professor Kwesi Yanka's piece yesterday, Gentle Giant in a Wheelchair, John Mahama, quite view Pama Jujua, and Namachichoga Gabriel Trokbom. Yes. And all the dome, Gabriel, Pagauma, Ochikomrani, Obedomra, Agbado Mavuto, Agmabukata, hey, is it Mama, you go? Where you go? And in Professor Yanka's piece, he said over 8,000 or 8 million something. He said it was 800,000 people living with disability. If they should all decide to vote against you, John Mahama, where will you be? And funnily enough, interesting enough, it was President KUFFOUR who introduced the Disability Act in 2006. You see how God is?
Nayata, Abatama, flyover clear.
President KUFFOUR introduced the Disability Act. President Mills came, created the Disability Council, Ivan Green Street Echo, and then set aside a percentage of the District Assembly Commons Fund for the Disability Council. Why? John Mahama, you came and you appointed Dr. Seydou Dana, Minister for Chieftaincy Affairs, not it? The first visually impaired Minister of State in recent times. Wonderful. President Akufo-Addo has come.
Niana can say, Osha, for town, bridge away, offer so good Kakwani na, or ye, so we could a whole chair. And I make us say, bit to me, Pina de Afa. And I make us say, so, one fun. And I'm saying disability comes in various forms. So if you talk about disability, it's broad. So even if you go back to even PNDC law 111, it's part of taking care of a certain section of the vulnerable in society. So, so if Baumia is now saying that as we progress, the persons living with disability, when they get admission into tertiary education, as part of supporting them, their tertiary education is free. Now, what's the cocoa farmers? And I was listening to Ebuchum. I had heard it on Farmers Day, but Ebuchum gave broader explanation. What's it there? Because of free education. And the cocoa scholarship. The one here, SHS level bill. Why then? One upgrade at the university level. The cocoa crash from one who pay a passbook near correct. I will be pepper one man have a scholarship. Education, tertiary education level. Every secondary.
Upgrading. They've upgraded it. The warriors had now force it. So upgrading now warrior. It's not missing a bay. A bay and coupon ne pay. Anyone bet to about 1 2 mana. Not your mama won't call anybody in a tema. A bra would 24 hours. Nightclub, in discotheque, reba. I told your mama, Casa. A year over. Formation Abate. A salad engine.
Meet a bien yanko.
Okay. What shall we call friend? A salad engine. When you buy it, be raising.
I'm going to while ago.
A quenino, Negacho Opongo Bumpy. Alogawa. I hear Opongo Jikume. Gawaka Bumpy. Okay. I'm a binary race course. Nak, Anyana may a race down. I may a two, I may a black comic kiosk. Mako pongo jeni black comic kiosk ke tudu e. Ameji gawa ke bombie.
Okay.
Ame be go race course.
Ame say do.
Sele, I race don.
Aja me.
What boy say ka me black kiosk ke come here tudu. Bege. Tudu. No me ke ya beach.
Kwalu. Ajo ti miss sorry.
Ewa. Ke bon ma to ne ba chop bombi. Ke gawa. Saturday nche. She baumiare a race course. So the point we are making here can is at the end of the day, sir nyama on no say kiti. But sir nyama kiti takes away
the good penny sense.
So John Mahama, you said Baumia is not at your level. President KUFFOUR is not at your level. Finish 8 years. He's serving his time in his retirement. Where he has gotten to Joma. We have not gotten to the place yet. And it's too late now to apologize. The horses are out of the stable. The goats are dead. And they have found themselves at the butcher shop. You can't revive them. It is, and yes, so to end, to make matters worse, then what's in the lie them say? Or pacho. You used your mouth, your own words, and you insulted President KUFFOUR and all persons living with disability. You offended the sensibilities of moral society. Then, what's it? Or the Bibiato, the Facebook wall. It is more insulting. Because any AI, also by the AI, artificial intelligence. Who says that it is even the lie himself who did it? And you'll be in a year, cannot do it to work. So that is even more abusive. It's more disrespectful. And to make matters worse, what I read say also Opacho not say he apologizes for his wheelchair comment. Come on.
What about the rest?
Thank you. Only the wheelchair comment? What about the heavy insults you heaped on the former president? What about the insults you heaped on moral society? What about on the conscience of moral society? What about the insults on all persons living with disability? You don't have the humility of heart to go back to Mugabe's program and go and see the electors, see your face and be able to read your eyeballs and say that you actually mean it or not. You should go and take that apology, as Koko Bako used to say. You should go and tell that apology to the Marines. Yeah, you should go and tell it to the Marines. Small boys in this country. So there's no apology. As far as I'm concerned, there is no apology.
That's it. KUKO Media TV so and atiefo mutie minia KUKO Ayindoho na de inchiremu kese media bretiefo ene ahwafo efa yenua de la EDEM opiokura na nhyeda nya di aigbedim papa na onimba bia ne din fi na mo se nia oye no ama sesei abusua no bufu abam manfo bofu won oye wadwen se won tua ba nyina so obetua ba because of that insult. KUKO Media TV you did catch eja ya odi asempa misi ndi di ka oreba so na wa subscribe to KUKO Media TV na obeka busua kese ne ho na seni ana koso no wani ji ho na wa share na wa like na nwe bi so anya bi etie ana modudu bia ko wie wo aboboa no seni abidi nkaka anopa no yene onabo sasu awie ntino ni ote ode ko akiri bia no anofom brajo onfanche ye ne eribisia na makodef score na matsande fofuraba na